If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Dear listener,
DJ of the week.
DJs.
DJ of DJs Revo.
DJ of DJs Revo, yes.
All right, so it is Friday the 13th. No, it's not going to be a scary stream. We're still in the 50s and 60s and 70s. So today we are starting out strong with a Beatles song.
Whoa! I wonder if Dwayne is here.
He's already here.
Oh, he's here. Oh,
Yep.
yeah, he must have seen it. Once he saw Beatles, that's it.
The Beatles, A Day in the Life. This is the closing track of the Beatles. Oh my God. The Beatles' concept album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club, and where they played the roles of a fictional military marching band with colorful outfits. You may see some ironic humor in there that are
activists.
Wearing flamboyant military uniforms. The album cover itself is an example of pop art where they pose with cardboard cutouts of historical figures, just like the Beatles, are immortalized, trivialized, and misunderstood by our limited
colloquial understanding of their existence.
You've reacted to Strawberry Fields Forever and I Am the Walrus from this era. The Beatles...
I Am the Walrus. That was Goo Goo Tube.
I know. The Beatles and these rock acts are so
financially successful that the record executives during this time gave these acts close to free reign and access to the latest technological advancements to toy around with. These bands ran away with this freedom. The Beatles and these acts can use their lyrical metaphors freely without it making sense to normal record buyers as they had to before. This song was written mostly by John Lennon and was inspired by newspaper clippings. It was initially banned by the BBC for the "I want to turn you on" lyric, which has drug connotations.
Okay. Let me have a sip of that Red Bull.
There you are, dear listener. All right, here we go. The Beatles, A Day in the Life. This
Oh my god. Wow. That noise is very alarming.
It's a very, very interesting sound. What are your thoughts? This is a very
what the
interesting.
song is about?
Just
or what?
overall, what were your thoughts on the song?
Okay, so I actually
Let me know
liked...
how my mic's going, guys.
Babe, I'm sorry for getting so frustrated before they're with the headphones.
It's par for the course. Go ahead.
Okay, so I actually really like the sound, except no, I like the song. I don't like that noise, especially probably more so because I'm in a very agitated mood right now. So I don't know. But yeah, that noise. This is so scary to say in a public forum. But you're around, so I don't have to be scared, I guess. If somebody was like breaking into my house and they had all these giant speakers and they started playing that noise and they chased me down in my house with that noise going, I don't know.
What would happen?
That would just be really terrifying. And my headphones were up like really loud, and this is so weird. These headphones that I used that broke yesterday, these kids' headphones are like way better, so the sound is bigger. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that thing is going. But the other sound of it, I really, really enjoyed. If I could cut that sound of the song out, I would. I'm not sure. Really what the song is about.
Hey, DJ Mike's in the house.
I don't know. Hey, what's up? I don't know why what was the importance of that sound. I think that there is something important, but I don't think I know enough about the song to be able to...
Yeah, it's a concept record, and it's the last song on this concept record. So...
Apparently, they hired an orchestra of like 40 different people to do that song.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty freaking epic. It was pretty freaking epic.
Like, I was a little bit confused by some of the words. So I read the news today, oh boy, about a lucky man who made the grade, and though the news was rather sad, well, I just had to laugh. I'm not sure why. See, that's confusing to me. If somebody makes the grade, that means they won, right? They did well.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what's sad about that. Well, I just had to laugh. And then it says, I saw the photograph. He blew his mind out in the car. I mean, did he kill himself in a car?
No, he died in a car accident. He died in a car somehow. So he made the grade, meaning he had everything going for him. And so for him to die like that is what's sad.
Oh, so the guy just got some really good news, then he wasn't paying attention, and then he got killed?
He said, I read the news today about a lucky man who made the grade.
Right.
You know, the news was rather sad. I just had to laugh. I saw the photograph. He blew his mind out in the car. So...
He didn't notice that the lights had changed. A crowd of people stood and stared.
Yeah.
They'd seen his face before. Nobody's really sure if he was from the House of Lords. So this guy he was going to get super successful, like it worked for him. And
he was already super successful. He made the grade. So he was already super successful.
Oh, he made the grade. I thought it said he made the grade today.
He was already living the life.
Yep.
And then he dies in this accident, whether he self-inflicted or not. And now everybody's looking at him, you know, crowding around his car, basically. So it's interesting because he said he laughed.
Yeah,
which
I didn't
is
understand that.
Fascinating because that is exactly what I did when I saw that Kobe Bryant died.
Oh,
we were in the gym.
We
were in the gym,
but it was not. Yeah.
And one of my coworkers had just died. I heard about it the day before. One of my coworkers had died. So we went to the gym. I was already having a pretty rough week. And then right as we're getting out of the sauna, I look up at the TV and there is Kobe Bryant. And I just kind of threw my hands in the air and I was just like, here we go. You know, sometimes when the tragedy is so horrible and the circumstances so unfair or ironic, you just laugh. You know,
yeah, it was not like a...
I mean, I laugh. It's not like a ha-ha.
No.
It's just like a... You can't make this shit up type of thing.
Right, yeah. It looked more like... Oh, here we go. This is, I don't know. I felt like that's like between you and God when you do that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. But, yeah, so like the laugh. What's up, Kai? The laughter when you're in the middle, you know, it's called gallows humor, basically. When you're on the way to the gallows and you're going to die, you kind of make light of it.
Yeah, that's different though. That's not what it looked like. It's not like that.
No.
Or like the laughing that you do after you make it out of an insane accident that you should have gotten killed on. Not like that laughter either.
Nah. It was yeah. So, it's a pretty terrible situation, and obviously, like, it's always horrible when a young person dies or whatever. But it's just even more ironic considering how hard life is. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody kind of like overcomes how the difficulties of life and makes something of themselves, or they're set up to have a pretty good time on the planet, and then they just get cut down like that at a young age, that really freaking sucks. That's pretty painful.
Yeah, and wasn't his daughter with him too?
I don't know. Did it say that in the lyrics?
No, Kobe.
Yeah, his daughter was. Yeah, there's like 3 other people.
It just was just really terrible.
A horrible situation.
Please, I need more Red Bull. Oh no. I saw a film today. Oh boy, the English army had just won the war. A crowd of people turned away, but I just had to look, having read the book.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel confused by these lyrics. Can you just explain what you're seeing in them?
Well, that's why he said in the little blurb at the beginning that they were able to write and do things freely and kind of experiment. Remember he was talking about that? So
that's right.
I don't think the lyrics are going to be like as basic as being able to, you know what I'm saying, understand.
Right there. The Beatles in these acts can use their lyric metaphors freely without it making sense to normal record buyers as they had to before.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I can appreciate a little bit of that, but like, okay, I can be totally fine with that if I'm just gonna vibe with the music. But if I'm gonna try to break down the lyrics after, then that sort of abstract.
Well, the abstraction works, and sometimes it doesn't work. It works in the sense that if it's good lyric writing, you can fit your own personal experience into the lyrics and interpret it that way. That's one of the strengths of the lyrics being a little bit, you know, vague, because then you can kind of put your own sense into it. But the first couple stanzas looks like it's talking about this guy who died in a car accident, rich guy, whatever. Then he goes, I saw a film today. The English army had just won the war. A crowd of people turned away, but I just had to look, having read the book. I'd love to turn you on. Woke up, fell out of bed, dragged a coat across my head, found my way downstairs, drank a cup, looking up. I noticed I was late, found my coat and grabbed my hat. Made the bus in seconds flat, found my way upstairs and had a smoke, and somebody spoke and I went into a dream. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like juxtaposing these like life-changing moments where, oh, this guy just died in a car accident, everybody's looking at him, with just a basic mundane sort of, hey, I got my hat, I got this, I got that. So it really functions like this is a day in the life. And life is like that. It's the combination of the mundane and the novel at the same time. That's what makes life, which is really interesting, because if you listen to the musicianship also does that. On the one hand, it's kind of mundane in the verse chorus lines, but then on the other hand, you have this giant symphony and these crazy sounds. And so you have the mundane and the novel going side by side throughout the whole song. And I think that's also reflected in the lyrics, where this crazy event happens, the guy dies in a whatever, but at the same time he catches the bus. And what's going on with the bus? The bus is on a schedule. Right? The bus is on a schedule, and you know what to expect, and he was able to catch the bus, etc., etc. Meanwhile, all this other stuff that's happening that doesn't happen every day also happens.
Okay.
So it's just, to me anyway, the song was like about existing in the world, dealing with both of those kind of poles. Like really something crazy happens and something mundane happens at the same time, and that's everybody's life pretty much. Okay,
and then what about I'd Love to Turn You On? How did that fit in?
Well, Revo said that was a drug reference.
That's how people took it.
I took that as a sexual connotation or whatever. Yeah. But I think turn you on means bring you into my world. Interpret all the basics of life the way I'm doing it. Which, of course, if you're a consistent drug user, especially LSD and all that, you know, these guys had kind of graduated beyond just weed at this point, I think.
Oh, yeah,
so
probably.
people were looking at LSD and all these other, you know, I think Terrence McKenna had just gotten pretty big. And these guys, I'm pretty sure that there was some back and forth between Lennon and Terrence McKenna. Terrence McKenna is a DMT guy. So I just think it's one of those things, like, it's like, you know, if you were to take part in these kinds of drugs, especially LSD, I think Puff the Magic Dragon was like a code.
Yeah.
There's all these, like...
That's what we were told anyway.
Yeah, and actually, I feel like, I don't know if it was in the Beatles. Hey, Dwayne, I saw something one time, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. And there was a song about Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, but it's really LSD, right? Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
That makes sense.
So I think if you're talking about the drug references, I think especially late 60s, early 70s, people started experimenting with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the song is also about the drug experience. There you go.
This song?
Yeah, that's what Miriano is saying. Many studied the song, interpreting the meaning of what John was saying. John was straightforward and was not happy about it at all. That's when he wrote I'm the Walrus, just to confuse the scholars.
Okay. All right. I guess... So sound-wise, I really like this. It was like a 9.8. I'm not a fan of the lyrics being kind of all over the place like that. I guess I'll give it a 9.75.
So Pink Floyd's first record was in 1967. 10 March 1967. This song was like a early stage Pink Floyd song to me. It was progressive. It had a lot of these random weird noises and vocal styles that you see with Pink Floyd. It was kind of spacey, kind of experimental.
Yep.
And to me, this was kind of like Pink Floyd-ish before Pink Floyd became Pink Floyd. It seems to me that Pink Floyd jumped onto this kind of idea of the experimentation and they just ran with it.
Yeah.
And to me, they refined what the Beatles were probably trying to experiment with. But it's this weird thing that Beatles fans, like, anytime you like something, they're like, yeah, the Beatles did that first. That's what I've been learning from Dwayne. But it looks like to me that maybe Pink Floyd was inspired by the Beatles, maybe this particular track, because it's really progressive, really weird, avant-garde. You know, the sound effects, I agree, the giant orchestra. It was probably one of those things that at the time kind of groundbreaking, especially when you compare it to what we were listening to 10 years prior. You know, thankfully we had Revo. Like, the songs in the 50s were very basic. You know, 2 or 3 instruments at most, and then 2 or 3 chords within those instruments at most.
And
then
not a lot of movement.
You're done. This one, though, is like next level. To me, this is next level. This is, okay, we're doing something completely different with the genre here. And it just looks to me like...
I agree. Like
Pink Floyd said, ooh, if we really did that intentionally, we could really come up with a really cool sound, and then there you go. So,
this must have been an exciting time, though, musically, to go from
yes,
the way that the music was to, like, you're really revolutionary, you know?
Yeah, I mean... If you compare this song to She Loves You, yeah, yeah, it's like, that's the same band? Like, look, I haven't heard nearly enough Beatles to go with all the crazy hype about the Beatles. But I definitely see in the last couple of songs, and it's really fascinating, too, because Paul McCartney, the songs that we did were written by Paul McCartney. This one was written by Lennon, and it was completely different feel. Completely, and you know,
I agree.
And I think that's one of the strengths of their band is probably you had 2 very strong songwriters who could deliver the goods, but because they're different people, it's all over the place.
I wonder if that like creates any like hostility or whatever in the group. Like if you have one writer and that writer's music always kind of like keeps going up.
Yeah, 100%. It's gotta be.
Because obviously what you create, you believe is really good because it's what you created, but somebody keeps always one-upping you. And you don't believe their stuff is better than yours. Like, I don't know.
In my opinion, Saint Anger is the worst Metallica album.
Uh-huh.
And that album, all the guys in the band were able to contribute. Because Hetfield had gone through some therapy. They just lost one of their band members. And it was like, well, James, you're a big control freak. And why does everything have to be you and Lars' way? So then they did this collaborative where everybody got to write and everybody's idea was equal. And the record is like their least like respected record in the metal world. It's like people just need to know their roles. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
bro, like you're the drummer, you're a badass, but you can't. You're not like John Lennon, obviously, or you're not like.
Nope.
And the lyrics here were very avant-garde and complex, and you really had to apply. I was really like dialed in, focused, looking at the lyrics, and I'm like, okay, how are these connecting? Because they seem to be these really disparate ideas. What's the thematic connection? This song is a lot more dense and layered than. I can't believe the guy who wrote the lyrics to this song also wrote Imagine. It's unbelievable. It's crazy to me. It's crazy.
I wonder where on the timeline Imagine was. Like in this timeline, in Revo Week timeline. Revo, where was it? So I can put a spot there. Anyway, so what did you give it?
I feel like this song, and a lot of this has to do with the way that Revo's been training our minds to look at the historical context. But I really feel like this song started an entirely new genre of music. I really do. Like what we call progressive or experimental. I'm not going to say they were the first ones to do it. We don't know enough music history to know that. But I will say that they were probably the ones that mainstreamed the idea of experimental music that could sell at the pop level. So because of that, I have to give the song a 10 just due to the importance of where it is. And I also liked how thematically challenging the lyrics were. Although granted, it's true, he could have just been writing out a stream of consciousness.
Wow, that's crazy. So Imagine would be more tomorrow's stream timeline.
Right.
So this was before.
This was before Imagine.
That's wild.
Right. So
yeah, that is crazy. I thought for sure that was going to be back.
Yeah. So I gotta at least give it a 10. It's a classic must listen to song. If you want to understand Pink Floyd, and to a degree, I think prog rock and prog metal are different. Prog rock to me is more about how can we make these sounds work together and be as avant-garde as possible, whereas prog metal is how proficient can I be at guitar and I can get Bach level virtuosity and then show that off. That's what progressive metal seems like to me. Whereas progressive rock is how do we create this soundscape that you never heard before to take you to another world. So I think prog rock, definitely you could probably vector it down to this specific moment. So I got to give it a 10 because I really feel like this was influential, although I'm kind of blind on this because I don't know. But I really enjoyed the song. I thought it was challenging. And lastly, it made me want to listen to that other album straight through. Like the Sgt. Pepper's, whatever. I don't know. Dwayne, maybe you can get an alliance together. We could go through a Beatles record. I don't know. But anyway, this is a 10 for me. Really, really good song.
9.8 for me.
Imagine was when John got out and was with Yoko Ono. I haven't heard a lot of good things about the Yoko Ono lady, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, in this song, the man could write his ass off. That's for sure. All right, dear listener. We're on the way. We have just gotten started. You think you're going to get rid of us? Impossible. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.